All right, family, here's my favorite part of the Super Bowl. I want to let you in on it. It's the fact that both teams arrived at the same destination, but took vastly different routes to get there. Think about how they constructed their teams. Not at all identical, but somehow they ended up at the same place. Well, what do you mean, Acho? Let me break it down for you. The Kansas City Chiefs, they traded up to acquire Patrick Mahomes, the number 10 overall pick in the draft. I mean, think about what you had to give up to go out and get a quarterback. So that's what they wanted to do. But then when you think about their roster in totality this season, only 3 All-Pros. Joy mentioned it earlier. Add Travis Kelce, add Patrick Mahomes if you wish. You have 5 total All-Pros. But then on top of that, that's a team with Pat and a team with 3 All-Pros. Well, when I think about what the Niners did and how the Niners constructed their team, they drafted a quarterback. The last pick in the draft quite literally coined the term Mr. Irrelevant. Not a first-round pick, not a top 10 pick, the very last pick. So you got the Chiefs, number 10. The Niners, the last pick. Then you look at the Niners roster in its totality. All-Pro, 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 All-Pro. 7 All-Pros compared to the Chiefs, 3. So when you think about the Chiefs, they have a team that is built around their quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. But when you think about the Niners, they built their quarterback around the team. Completely different processes, however, they wound up at the same location. With that being said, in the biggest game of the year, really the biggest sporting event that you likely will ever see, who has the most to gain? Who has the most to lose? James, let's start first with who has the most to gain in the Super Bowl. Talk to me.
Mr. Irrelevant has the most to gain. Come on, man. This dude was the last pick in the draft. He has his team in the Super Bowl. He has $200 and something odd million on the line. He has the most to gain. Kyle Shanahan already got money. Last time I checked, Big Red got money. Last time I checked, Patty got all the money. Right? Patty got all the Super Bowls. Big Red has all the Super Bowls. Brock Purdy has an opportunity in his second year as a starter, being Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft, to beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl and be a Super Bowl champion. He has the most to gain in this game. And after this game, even if they do lose and he has a game like a Jalen Hurts or plays at a high level, the San Francisco 49ers know exactly who the quarterback of the future is. If he goes out there and lays an egg or doesn't play well, we back in the Jimmy G conversation. Jimmy G got you to this game. Yes, you might be a little bit more talented and made a couple more plays, but Jimmy G got to this game and lost 2. So with that being said, when Jimmy G had McCaffrey, his numbers was like Purdy's. So all this stuff is going to be caught up in there if he loses this game and doesn't play at a high level. So for me, Brock Purdy has the most to gain if he can find a way to get this done, and not even get it done. I don't even care about the win. Play at a very, very high level.
Yeah, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Patty.
Is it Patty?
I think it's Patty. Because no matter what way Patty plays, if he wins the game, it's going to count the same.
That's true.
But the difference is going to be he will unequivocally be in the conversation for one of the best to ever play that position. We're not going to argue, is it, Manning or some people might say Rodgers still. But
what
I'm some people.
I'm right here.
I'm saying that. You're talking about sober though, like sober.
yeah, sober, you know what I'm saying? Yes, it will really solidify his legacy. We won't need to have any more conversations at all. Ask questions about whether this is a dynasty or not. Yeah. It's not even good. It's a useless question. They are a dynasty, so it's going to take a lot of questions off the table. I think when I look at who has the most to gain, who's pushing it further. How much more does it matter for Patrick Mahomes than it does for Brock Purdy? If Brock Purdy plays well and loses this game, he's going to get paid. It's going to. There might still be questions, but he's going to get paid. He's going to be the future if he plays well. If he plays well and loses, this is an opportunity for Patrick Mahomes to put whatever the separation is now, even more and get closer to the greatest to ever play the game. So I think it's Patrick Mahomes.
James, everything about money to you? I love money. Everything about money? Money ain't everything, James Jones. What about the legacy?
Yeah,
what are you doing for? You know what?
You gotta get one, though, start your legacy.
Jay-Z just won a Grammy, and he said, everything ain't always about the money. It's who you doing it for, and why are you doing it, right? It's gotta be Patrick Mahomes for me. If you talk the biggest legacy out of everybody playing this game, it's either Andy Reid or it's Patrick Mahomes. Bro, if he wins this game and wins his 3rd Super Bowl, 6 straight AFC championship games, 4 Super Bowls in 5 years.
Yeah.
Bro, 3 championships, 2 MVPs, and he ain't even 30 yet. He's not even 30. If this was Muhammad Ali, he would be talking for years. Just keep talking about how great he is, because that's what he's really doing. Yeah. Tom Brady, to me, is the best football player who ever touched a football, right? And he's like 40. He's 40-something when he stopped. 41? His brother's not even 30 yet.
47 now, I think.
That boy close to 50.
Yeah, remember?
My boy 50?
Brady played till 45.
Hold on, Brady, my man. 7 times. I didn't know you was almost 50.
Yeah, Brady played
I better invite you to 50 Brady party. Anyway, this is what I'm trying to say, though. I'm all about legacy, bro. And we're talking about legacy this early. He's not even 30 yet. He's going to at least play for another 10 years? And now you number 2? Because I got Joe Montana first or second. I got Brady number 1. I got Patrick Mahomes number 3 right now. He wins this game, man. I don't know what we talking about.
Speaking of legacy, what pick is Mr. Irrelevant?
262, I believe.
That ain't no legacy. That's a great performance.
And you win a championship?
That's a great year. It's a great run. His other brother, though, I ain't gonna name his stats.
I'm gonna throw a wrench in. I'm gonna throw a wrench in this. And it's
how big's the wrench? Small or big?
A big wrench in this one. It's a little bit of what Joy alluded to. We talked about it with Lamar Jackson. Had Lamar Jackson won a Super Bowl, he would have changed the dynamics of everything.
I agree.
Because now you will say to yourself, man, running quarterbacks can win Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. If you are ever a disruptor, you can gain the most. I'm saying the Kyle Shanahan model has the most to gain. I think about Netflix. Man, Netflix took Blockbuster out of business. Yeah. Right? Like, it changed the whole model of everything. If Shanahan wins, Shady, if Shanahan wins, Joy, if Shanahan wins, James Jones, what now has to happen is, rather than trying to find the next Patrick Mahomes, which is hard to do, the Niners swung and missed trying to do it in Trey Lance. The Packers swung, and we thought they missed in trying to do it in Jordan Love. Rather than trying to find the next Patrick Mahomes, use Shanahan's model. Give me a good quarterback, and let me build a great team around him. Yeah. Give me a good quarterback, let me build a great team around him. Because right now, the current model to win Super Bowls is the Andy Reid model. It's the one that works most often. Quarterback. And not just the quarterback, Mahomes. That's why we wanted Trey Lance, because he rushed for 800 yards his last year in college and threw for a couple touchdowns. Why we wanted Jordan Love? Oh, he's mobile and he can throw. We're chasing Mahomes. It's a copycat league, but there's only one Mahomes. Reason Caleb Williams is so highly touted, that's because he's the most reminiscent of Mahomes.
I can see that.
But if Shanahan's model can beat Andy Reid, now, rather than trying to find the next Mahomes, hey, let's get a really good quarterback. Yeah. Let's get a really good offensive mind, and let's just get good teams around them, a la the Detroit Lions, a la the Dallas Cowboys, rather than trying to find the next Mahomes.
That's why I think Shanahan has the most to lose.
Ooh.
Because I've been under the sneaky suspicion that maybe this won't work, because Shanahan has been doing this model. And we all talk about how brilliant he is, but you're talking about giving somebody credit for not doing as much. I'm going to butcher it. You do it better with the setups. But, like, we give Shanahan credit for going further with less talent, but it's his choice to do that. He's making this decision. Trey Lance was his decision. Brock Purdy, so I don't want to give him credit for Brock Purdy, but he chose to put Brock Purdy in that position and develop him, and he's done a nice job with it. But it's always you just get there. You get there, and then you kind of get back, and then you get back again. If you don't actually win, then this model isn't working. You talked about it last week. That's really what it's risking here. Now, it's working as far as winning goes, but that's not your expectations once you get to a certain point. Once you're making it to the Super Bowl and going back to the NFC Championship and going to the Super Bowl, the expectation is eventually to win. And if the one position that's holding you back is the position that you insist you don't need to improve on, well, that falls at your feet. So and you look at who have won the Super Bowl the past year. So Chiefs last year, quarterback.
Mahomes.
Stafford. Rams, quarterback. Chiefs. Mahomes, quarterback. Brady, Bucks, quarterback, offensive coach. And you have the Eagles in there, so maybe that's an outlier.
Yeah, a very outlier. It is an outlier. But maybe it is.
I mean,
but he went crazy, though.
Hold on, real quick. Now, he didn't start the whole year.
That's what I'm saying.
But the quarterback, but the quarterback that did was killing it.
Correct.
Exactly.
Number two.
What I'm saying is, for her point,
it's right.
He was going with that. And then in the Super Bowl, Nick Foles had 500 yards.
Yeah, he played out his mind.
No, Nick played out of his mind, but they didn't build it around Nick. Yeah. Nick played at a super
But I'm saying,
level.
for your point, you was talking about the quarterback.
It's still the quarterback.
Yes. And they went through defense.
Carson was going crazy that year.
So it's still the quarterback.
Quarterback. And then the year before that,
who was
Brady.
Tom Brady again. 2016 quarterback.
So Shanahan is really... He's testing this theory that you can win in the modern NFL without and listen, Brock Purdy's had a tremendous year. We're not calling Brock Purdy a bum or anything. Please relax. He's just not Mahomes. And this is Shanahan's system.
Or the names we just named.
No, not at all.
Because he ain't Matthew Stafford either.
But that's my question, too, though. Like, is the method really all that when she just named all them names? Like, we talk about all the time, you may sneak in there and get one, but the formula is superstar quarterback.
But here's
you know what I'm saying?
Here's why I think, well, what Joy is on, and really this is going to be the point I will try to drive home all week, is what is at stake in this game, and the magnitude of it is so great. Because, James, to me, it's all about a disruptor. It is all, like, the quarterbacks were traditional, but then you saw Mike Vick come in the joint. And then Robert Griffin came in there. And then Cam Newton came in there. And now the quarterback is completely different. Joy talks about it all the time. We have to adjust what the quarterback looks like. The quarterback is no longer a 6'5", 230, statuesque Peyton Manning. Now the prototypical quarterback is 6'1.5", 6'2", mobile, like Jordan Love, like Patrick Mahomes, et cetera. So I do think if he can throw a wrench in this model, Cowboys are doing this model. Cowboys had 9 All-Pros, if I'm not mistaken. Matt, you can correct me off camera. And they got a quarterback who's above average. The Lions, to me, are doing this model. I don't believe that Jared Goff is amongst the Patrick Mahomes or Matthew Stafford elites, but the Lions have all pros galore, and they have a quarterback who's above average. I think this model could change everything, but it has to win or it's nothing.
Yeah, but you're saying Lions. Dude was number 1.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the Dak Prescott, if you don't think he's a better quarterback than Brock Purdy, is a good conversation because he's a 4th-round pick, and the Cowboys got a lot of good players around here. But Jared Goff is a 1st-round pick. But I'm with Joy, man. For me, the most to lose in this game is Kyle Shanahan. Because, number one, you've had this model, and I think the best model of this offensively that you had was with Matt Ryan. When he won MVP and you were playing lights out. And with that model, you gave up a 28-3 lead. I know you don't coach the defense. I know you was not the head coach, but a superstar quarterback covered up a 28-3 lead with 2 minutes or some seconds left in the 3rd quarter, right? Then you get to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G, and the biggest play in that game is your quarterback not making the play to win the football game. So I truly believe if those plays are made, he sits here with 2 championships, this is not even a conversation. But if you get to this game 3 times and you walk out of this game 0-3, yes, your model's cool. Yes, you win a lot of games. Like Shady said, we know it's hard to get to the NFC Championship. It's harder to get to the Super Bowls, and he's been, 2 and 4 years? But you keep walking out of this thing empty-handed, and we're putting you in front of a lot of great coaches because of what we are seeing you do. You have earned it from some people saying that you are better than this coach and all that. I will argue with you guys, but he's earned the right to be in those conversations. But you can't keep walking out of this game with an NFC Championship ring.
Also, if he was a defensive coach, I might defend it more. But he's not. He's an offensive coach. So that also changes things for me. Like, if you're a defensive coach and you're like, cool, I'm going to build up everything, the exact same model, but this particular position I give to someone else to handle and it's not hitting, that would be different. But this is all you. This is by your design, and these are your choices at that position. I don't know. I think it's interesting because the way that the Super Bowls are being won is not this. So you can certainly argue for the success of it if you're talking about showing up, if you're talking about being consistent at winning at a high level, winning your division. But the big one is at your doorstep now. And if you still can't get it done.
Yeah, I do know he's 0 against Andy Reid. Just to let you guys know that. Sorry.
0-3, right? Yes.
0.
0 whatever.
So I'm going with Brock Purdy.
Most to lose.
Most to lose. Let's think about this for a second. With this team, you talked about how the Kyle Shanahan method is, get a good quarterback that's not expensive, and get all these great players around him that are expensive, right?
Sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So he goes to the NFC Championship game as a rookie. That's really good. Hard to hell to do.
Hard to
No
do.
question.
He goes back his sophomore year. No sophomore slump, right? MVP conversation. This kid's getting better, right? Now we're at the Super Bowl again. And if he loses this game, right, what happens to the Niners? Because eventually he has to get paid. I mean, he was in the MVP conversation. So now if you give him that money and they don't win a Super Bowl, what's going to do to these other guys? Brandon Ayuk, Debo coming back up. Kittle, Trent Williams eventually, Christian McCaffrey. Wait, Ward's up for Pro Bowl this year? You get what I'm saying? So as much as we want to talk about Kyle Shanahan, he's going to be there. Listen, I know what y'all say. Y'all hard on him. I get it. But it's hard as hell to go to conference games and Super Bowls, right? And if you're going to do that, there's a lot of owners that's going to take you. If you win or lose, he's going to take you because you can get there. That's the first step. The second thing is, when you play your quarterbacks all this money, I mean, look at the Chiefs. You paid your quarterback all this money, right? And now you got all these young, inexperienced wide receivers that had the most drops in football.
Yeah.
But your quarterback is so good, it didn't matter. We back at the same spot trying to get another championship. So you talk about the most to lose. If this young kid don't win a championship, that team gonna look real different. It looks so different that I only can see Kyle Shanahan and this whole the way he designs his teams.
Yeah. So how do you guys handle it? You two over there, man. How do you guys handle it if the Niners lose this game? How are you handling the quarterback spot? Is he the quarterback of your future? Do you pay him this money? Like, how are you handling the quarterback spot if you lose this game?
I will be honest. I am handling it like Sean McVay handled Jared Goff. I'm riding with Brock Purdy. If there is a moment in time where I believe that I can improve the position, I will try. But literally, I have in my notes, I'm with Shady, Brock Purdy has the most to lose. You can't improve the Niners roster.
Yo, you cannot.
The running backs in All-Pro. The fullbacks in All-Pro. The tight ends in All-Pro. The left tackles in All-Pro. The slot wide receiver, Deebo Samuel, was an All-Pro last year. The outside wide receiver, Ayuk, is an All-Pro. The defensive tackle, Hargrave, is 10 sacks. The other defensive tackle, Armstead, is a first-round pick. The both defensive end was a number 1 overall pick and I think a number 2 overall pick. The cornerback, Ward, is an All-Pro. The linebackers are best in football. The other linebacker, the Pro Bowler, I believe he should be an All-Pro. The safety, Hufanga, is an All-Pro. The roster can't get better. So if you lose, it's the quarterback. I love me some Brock Purdy. But if the Niners lose, hey, Brock, we can't get better than All-Pro, but we can get better than you.
So you're saying still pay him like they paid Goff, but if we could find a quarterback
No doubt.
better?
I'm moving forward with Brock Purdy because you can get to the Super Bowl. I do believe you can win a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy outside of freaking the GOAT, Patrick Mahomes, standing in the way. But Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan are like this. That's why I think Purdy has the most to lose. McVay went to a Super Bowl with Goff, family.
Yeah.
Won 13 games like that, and he still said, I can get better. And not only did he say, I can get better, he got better. And he won it instantly. What you think Kyle Shanahan gonna do? He looking at Sean McVay, and he's gonna say, you know what, man? If he did it and he won, I love Purdy. But I gotta go get me one of them.
Oh, he definitely make that call. Hey, bro, what you think? How should I handle this? Because that's what I would do. They boys like that. So even you see how, like, after the game, a lot of coaches, if they lose, hey, you know what I mean, see you later. Where they talk. They smiling on us. So you can tell they really, really tight. And they had a lot of time working
and Shady,
together.
and this is brilliant because in the division, like McVay was in Shanahan's division, got Stafford, beat McVay, beat Shanahan en route to the Super Bowl, then won a Super Bowl while Shanahan was sitting there looking. So Purdy to me has there's a lot of stakes.
You got Shanahan in front of him.
Not yet.
We are about to
Give me 7 days.
There was such a clean block.
It was peaceful. It was cool.
It ain't that peaceful. It's not that peaceful. Hey, look, real quick, I know we got $2,500 on the whole. Look, I know you like the Niners. And I love Andy Reid. Let me know what you want to do.
hey, why wait till Tuesday?
Why wait? You know what I'm saying? Why we gotta wait?
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.